Hey guys, I wanted to give God a shout out today, which I know sounds funny, but that's legitimately what I want to do. Also because I think it'll benefit you. One of the things that I've learned about God and my journey with Him over the last 20 years, not something that I've just like settled with my brain, but something that somewhere deep inside of myself I've become convinced of based on my experience and what I've observed of Him in other people's lives as well. When we have terrible things happen to us, whether we're victims of stuff or we chose things that are horrible and that, became even worse down the road in our lives, what I've found with God, because of how good He is, the nature that He possesses, and just the quality of that goodness, it is beyond our ability to comprehend mentally. Because of how good He is, He actually causes us to thank Him for the things that went wrong. He doesn't trick us or brainwash us, and He doesn't cause us to see the good in the bad. That's actually, it's not what I'm talking about. It's different than that. When God's redemptive nature comes into your life and you simply say yes to who He is and what He's doing, and you stop fighting Him and you stop contending for your version of reality and you give in to who He is and what He's doing, eventually His goodness takes over to the point that the stuff, the chaos and the baggage and the skeletons and the closets and all the things from our past that were awful, when His goodness gets on those things in us and we stop protecting those things from Him, He touches them and something magical happens. I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, it's not magic, it's something else, but it's something beautiful. Those things become blessings. And again, this is not a perspective shift. He legitimately causes them to become benefits. Like, you actually like look at Him and you're like, I don't know how you did this. I don't understand it, but I am shocked and I'm laughing because I don't know how else to react. I'm grateful that I didn't get into that school. I'm grateful that that divorce took place. I'm grateful that whatever. I'm not kidding. And I know that some of those things are horrible and some people have a lot of trouble moving on. I don't want to be unsympathetic. I'm not saying that pain and tragedy and those kinds of things aren't difficult or devastating. However, they are only devastating in a godless world. When God shows up, when He's allowed to be who He is, and you stop fighting Him and you stop demanding for your version of reality, He touches the chaos and the devastation and the lack and the carnage, and He legitimately turns those things into a platform for increase, for promotion, for blessing, for benefit. And we thank Him for that devastating fork in the road because of what He did with it. And there's no other way to look at it. You're like, man, I don't know how else this would have happened. If that hadn't taken place, He wouldn't have done this, and blah, 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 blah. It's crazy. Again, I'm not trying to be harsh or cold, but I've experienced some tragedy in my own life. I've experienced some like hideous downfalls, and the Lord has taken those things. And to this day, I am so thankful that I failed in the ways that I did because of what He did with my failure. I'm so grateful. Now, keep in mind, there is the variable that I actually had to learn to let go and allow Him to be who He is in my being. But as I let Him be Him, and I just gave Him permission to call the shots and do the things He wanted to do, it wasn't a cost. It didn't feel like a trade. He legitimately just completely rewrote the whole thing and made my life better than I could have possibly imagined. So you guys, even if that's you, if you haven't actually gone through that yet, you're just on the devastating side of it. It just sucks. Understand that God's nature, His goodness is so profound and so beyond your ability to comprehend what's real, that if you allow Him to let His healing nature come into your heart and you let Him show you what's real and who He is and what He's like, He will take your controlling, like prying hands off of those situations, those circumstances, those events, those people, whatever, and His life will breathe onto it, and He will cause those things to sparkle and shine, and for you to look at the devastating places in your past and your history, and you will thank Him. You'll give Him praise and gratitude because He took the place that was awful where death came from, and He brought life, and He blessed you, and He caused you to become better for it. He's like that. Trust Him, you guys. He's better than you think.